Hello, listeners, and welcome to episode 16 of Push2 A Plat Level Cap, the only show interested in raising your score and our own. I am joined today with the Platinum Slayer, Joe. How are you today, sir?
What's going on, Cj? We're doing great today.
Good. Look, I'm great too. I'm a little intimidated. You're flying up there. I see you've smashed through the 400. Congratulations, sir.
Thank you, sir.
And now, when did you hit 400? Was it yesterday or today?
Yesterday late afternoon, I believe.
Excellent. So you're already up to 402. That's why I'm a little nervous, listeners. But look, why don't we start with 400, Joe? What was it? Did you enjoy it?
I picked Life is Strange. It was a game that I liked when I first played it, and then like when I was playing it on, like I played it on the 360 and the Xbox One a long time ago. But I played 1 through 4 right before Episode 5 came out, so I could kind of lean into 5. And then the PS4 version, like when I was playing it again, I was like really like critiquing it. Why are they calling everybody by their first and last name? Like that really bothered me because people don't talk like that. And then the other thing, like I didn't enjoy it as much as I did the first time until I got to like episode 4 and 5.
Mm.
And I remember really enjoying the whole game top to bottom the first time. Maybe it's because I kind of knew what was happening, but it was like I knew what was happening in the 4th and 5th, and I forgot it maybe or whatever. Because I mean, like when you just play game and game and game and game, you forget like little details and stuff like that, and I'm just like, oh shit.
It's very true. Look, without going into spoilers, although everyone should have played it by now, can I sort of infer what ending did you take? Did you leave or did you stay?
I always leave.
Oh,
so I feel like it makes a better story.
You've never experienced the other ending, or?
No, I picked the same ending for both. Well, actually, all 3 times I've played the game now.
Oh, how predictable. The other ending is quite good. It's a little sad. I'm surprised. Okay. Does that mean you've played it on PS3 if you've played it all 3 times?
No, I've done it on the 360, the Xbox One, and the PS4. I have not done the PS3 version yet. Maybe I will choose that ending next.
It's fantastic on the PS3, Joe, because there's massive slowdown. The loading is great. There's a few hangs as well on the screen. It's wonderful. So you're in for a treat there. But look, what are the rest of your numbers for this week? Because they're equally impressive.
So we're at 402 plats now. I'm up to 316th in the U.S. and 1731st in the world.
Ah, very, very nice. You're going to crack that top 1,000 soon. You know what? Maybe a couple of months. It's only going to be a couple of months. It's fantastic. Fantastic to see. Well done. Well, yeah, definitely. Now, I mean, how high up do you think you can get in the US? I know you were looking at this a while ago. Where does level 100 put you roughly in the US?
I actually am not prepared to answer this question.
No,
but
that's okay.
No, I'm on PSN profiles now. So level 100 would put me, if I were to have it today, it would put me 79th or 78th.
That's not
so
bad. Yeah, that's not bad. And then once you get there, you can start your push to the first page, which will probably be like level 150 by that time or something. I'm not sure.
The first page on the US is only level 111, so not that far off.
No, if you can do 100, you can do 111, a couple extra days, a few more rat plats, perhaps. So, listeners, I level 176, 1,085 plats, holding a steady 65th in the world. Joe, these people behind me are going berserk. It's a real battle here in the 60s, I can tell you. It's a real battle for anyone in their 60s, but it's definitely a battle here. So I'm looking forward to seeing how that goes. But Joe, the guest on last week's main show, Natasha here, Bliss or Nurse Feelgood, if you like. We'll go with all 3 names, so we're totally covered. She's decided to up her game again. she's already threatened to pass me, which is fantastic. But now she's up to her game, and she's laid down. Now you might find this interesting, Joe. She's laid down. She's going to hit 1,500 plats this year. Now she's around 920 something, 5, 6 in that vicinity. That's a lot of plats. Now I don't think that's really going to be possible for her. What do you reckon, Joe? Do you reckon that many 560 or 70 plats in the rest of this year?
Was there 6 months? So it's about 90 a month. I mean,
Yeah.
if she had the amount that I have available to her, like when I started, when I had played like just sound shapes, then I think it's doable. But I think she's gonna be a little restricted because it looks like Vita games aren't coming out with these rat stacks
Yeah.
anymore.
And she's already got 900 plats, so she's done a lot of these games already.
Yeah, I mean, doable, I would say, but it's gonna be a challenge.
It really is gonna be a
She's
challenge.
she's got to do at least 3 a day.
Yeah, that's right.
So
That's right. I think it's a little optimistic, but we'll see. Of course, if she were to hit that, I think she would pass me. So I think that'll be very interesting because I can't see me getting to 1,500 this year. So we'll have to see. There's excitement all around there, Joe, for us, I think. So why don't we now? You've done an amazing job here. You've put together the sales data again for us. Look, if Sony is hiring, I would love to write you a recommendation letter if you would like to work for their sales department because you're doing a great job here putting all this together. But talk me through it. What do I need to watch out for this week?
okay, so there's 2 sales this week. There's the under $20 sale,
Mm-hmm.
and the double discount sale. And the under $20 sale has Monopoly Deal, which I might have made you buy so we could play it together, but you might not have. The 4 Deponia games, and then one of those has a stack. I think it's Chaos on Deponia is the one with the Europe stack as well. The Complex, which I underlined because I bought that, and I'm gonna play it tomorrow. Air Memories of Old, Goosebumps without Jack Black. Valiant Hearts is a really great game if you haven't played it yet. I would definitely recommend that. It's a little side-scrolling, like kind of like platformer, with a good story. It takes place during World War One, I want to say. Edna and Harvey, My Riding Stables, and Unicorn Princess. Have you played those?
Look, they're two separate games, aren't they? The Unicorn Princess and the My Riding Stable.
So, I remember seeing this on Twitter a while back when they came out, and apparently they're the same game, just reskinned with a unicorn.
Oh wow! I didn't know that. Well, I played the Unicorn one. Yes, I don't.
So I believe the games are identical,
Oh
and they
wow!
just reskin the horse to a
Mm,
unicorn.
wow.
I'm not 100% sure on that. I can't vouch for that. Maybe Alex can, because I know he likes to brag about how fast he completed that game.
Yes, yeah, that's fun. Have you played either version then?
No, so they have the Unicorn game on disc for Xbox One, and I've always shied away about buying it because I don't really buy stuff anymore unless I want to play it.
Mm, smart idea.
Yeah, that one isn't really high on my to-do list, so like stuff like that, I've been waiting until it's like more affordable, and now it's starting to be a little bit more difficult to find, so I might have to jump on it. I did buy My Rating Stables on PS4 though, because GameStop had a buy two get two free on $10 and under games, so only paid $5 for it.
That's fantastic. Well, I know the Unicorn Princess is only 100% game. It's not that short either. 3 or 4, 5 hours maybe, and it has a it has a really obnoxious fetch the cart quest that takes forever, and then you get it there and you have to take it all the way back. But look, it's very relaxing. It's very relaxing, and it's a there are collectibles though. I never bothered with that, but congratulations to the people that did. Now, where are we up to next?
We got Nickelodeon Kart Racers, Trover Saves the Universe, which Justin Roiland worked on, I believe, or is it Justin Roiland? The creator of Rick and Morty.
Yes,
that's his game, and he does like a lot of the voices in it too. And then you can definitely identify the Rick and Morty voices in it because if he did anything like he did with the show, he definitely recorded the audio while drunk because that's what he does. Have you ever like seen him do that?
No.
Oh, so like yeah, when they go to like record the episode or whatever, they have like an outline for the show, obviously, and the dude just gets completely obliterated and like records all his lines.
I would love to see like the last 20 minutes of recording when he's just totally on the floor. That'd be
Yeah,
fantastic.
no, they said like apparently it's really obnoxious, but
Yeah,
that's just what
I
he
bet.
does.
Maybe he's like a really reserved guy when he's not drinking. Maybe that's
Yeah.
why he sort of does it. Who knows? Who knows? Yeah. Oh, I like the next one here.
Yeah, this one I haven't played and I wasn't sure about it because I couldn't really find that much info on it. So Street Outlaws, is that easy?
Yeah, okay, so I know this game. So this is by the people that made the Super Street the game, which is, an arcadey racer that had a dreadful four-player multiplayer trophy with three stacks though, but still overall quite enjoyable. So this one here, Street Outlaws, this is their next endeavor. This one is all about drag racing though on the strip. There are a few little events like time trials and destruction, races and stuff like that, but predominantly that's what it's about. I quite liked it. I think you can do it in about 6 to 8 hours. I can't remember. There's a few tricks with upgrading and parts and stuff, but you could pick up a guide there and check those. But it's kind of fun. It gets a little tough at the end potentially, but it's fun. Yeah.
And then last but not least, Zombieland Double Tap.
Have you played this yet?
I have not. I also have not seen the new
Oh,
movie as well.
you have to see it.
Yeah, it's got what's his name in it? Who I'm not a fan of. Jesse Eisenberg.
Okay. Oh, well, maybe you shouldn't see it then. But it
Yeah,
is quite funny. But the game is good too. It's a direct skin or whatever from the movie. So stills of the characters, and it plays top down. It's a fairly easy plat. I think I want to say again around 8 hours. I think there's potentially a survival mode or something that could be a little tricky. I think, but you play it once you're leveled up, so it's not too bad. And it's quite a fun game. And I don't know. I mean, if it's under 20, that's good because it was at like 40 or 50 at least when it came out. So that's a
yeah.
decent price. Could be worth jumping on there, listeners. And then now this double discount sale, as if that wasn't enough, Joe. There's more. What have we
Yes.
got here?
So this is a game that you guys recommended me, and I started it and never went back to it, and I don't know why. But The Liar and the Blind Prince,
Yes, yeah.
which you and Mindy have recommended tons of times.
It's a game of 2019.
Yes. Psychopath's Mandatory Happiness, which is a visual novel. I believe it's 6 to 8 hours. I want to say a
Mhm.
little bit longer. Gravel, which we've talked about a couple times. Prototype 2, which I'm a big fan of. Actually, have you played that?
I have not.
Prototype 2 is pretty fun. It's a little bit dumbed down from the first game. The first game is kind of challenging because you have to beat the game on hard, and it's pretty challenging, like on normal, in order to get the plat or the 1,000 gamer score in it. But Prototype 2, you just like, I believe you have to beat the game twice. I think you have to do it on hard, but you can do it with a new game plus, if I remember correctly. I'm not 100% sure on that because I only did it on the 360, and I played it the week it came out, and that came out when Infamous 2 came out on the PS3, which was quite a while ago. No, the first one came out when Infamous came out. Ride 3, and I believe the Ultimate Edition with all the DLC is on sale as well. There's tons of DLC trophies for that.
Yes, yeah. That takes a long time.
Lego Star Wars Force Awakens Deluxe, Lego Batman 3 Deluxe, Lego Marvel 2 Deluxe, Lego Marvel Collection, which has Lego Marvel 1, 2, and Lego Avengers, and it has all the Season Pass content as well.
There's plenty of Lego. That's good. That Psycho Pass mandatory happiness that you mentioned, I don't think you've played that yet, Joe. It's quite a long VN in its own right, but it has a really obnoxious mini game at the end that takes the majority of the time, and you can't AFK it. I remember that, so buy it, beware.
I played it for the Xbox One. I just don't remember it.
Yeah, that's the longest part of the game, I think. But good. So there's plenty there. That's excellent. Now let's. It's going to be a big show. I can already tell, Joe. So let's just quickly touch on the challenges. I did last night. I forgot, but then I remembered about this rememoried. So I played it. I can report that I don't think the glitch works on PlayStation anymore. I did some reading as well, and it seems to be the general perspective from people that have played it in the last couple of months. So maybe it's been patched or something. But you can play the game legit, Joe. There's a wonderful text walkthrough actually available for the game, and it's not too bad. It's a little bit cheap. Some of the spots and the controls it's a bit annoying with jumping on the spheres and things, but It's actually quite a nice game. I'm glad you recommended it because there's some beautiful music, predominantly classical music, throughout it as well. So it's an interesting idea. It did make me a little bit motion sick, Joe, from all the spinning around in a circle to reshape the level. But aside from that, it was good. I'm assuming here that Circuits has not moved forward this week.
No, I did not buy it at all.
Okay, well let's. I'm going to give you another week, and you can drop something on me if you like next week, and we'll give you a bit more time on that one. Why don't we go to it is the first of the month or the second of the month, depending on where you're living today, listeners. Why don't we go to the free game face off, Joe? Do you want to start us off here with the PlayStation offerings? What have we got?
So, for the PlayStation, we have Call of Duty World War II and Star Wars Battlefront 2.
Good. Now, have you played either of these?
I played a little bit of World War II and a little bit of Battlefront 2 on the Xbox One. I didn't get that. I think I played about maybe like a third of the campaign in Battlefront 2, and then World War II, I played like the first like 3 or 4 missions.
Yeah. Okay. So the number breakdown, if that interests you, listeners, they're both big games for Platts here. The COD World War II here, around 50 hours, 51 trophies, 38 bronze, 10 silver, 2 gold, 1 platinum, 6 online trophies there, Joe. And for Star Wars Battlefront 2, it's a massive 100 plus hours. It's a total grind fest from what I hear. 44 trophies, 33 bronze, 15 silver, 2 gold, 1 platinum. It's the sort of game where you'd be hoping for double, triple, or quadruple XP weekends as you go, Joe. I think there's been a few doubles already, in its life. 21 of these trophies online. Of course, it's an online game. Do you recommend either, Joe, from what you've played? Did you enjoy them or?
Star Wars Battlefront 2, when I played that, like that game was like right when like the Xbox One X first got like HDR, and I believe I had gotten my new TV, so I was like, oh yeah, this game looks friggin' beautiful. Like the color scheme in it and stuff like that was really nice and stuff like that. I mean, it's Battlefront. It's definitely much better than like the first game, I thought.
Okay. I put a fair bit of time in the first one. I quite enjoyed it, but I didn't really touch the second at all. So maybe I should go back and check it. I don't know. I don't know. Okay, well let's hold that there for the PlayStation. Two big games though, Joe. Really, two marquee sort of games, if you like AAA. So PlayStation digging deep into the wallet there this month. Now Xbox here. What have we got here? Now, do you know any of these games? Have you played any of these before?
Destroy All Humans, I played for the original Xbox a very long time ago, and that's what you get here. I saw that you typed in some info, but I kind of changed it a little bit because you had the Xbox One list, but it's really the original Xbox title with no achievements.
Oh, then get it off the list. Dreadful, dreadful choice,
Yes.
Xbox.
I mean, it's a great game. Voice actor from it is the voice actor from Invader Zim. I don't know if you've watched that. I really enjoyed that show when I was a kid or a teenager, whenever it came out. Then we have Shantae and the Pirate's Curse, which is a 15 to 20 hour platformer, I want to say. Those are actually pretty fun. They were originally on the Game Boy Advance.
I think they're potentially a little bit skill based, though, aren't they? Because I was reading that you got to do two playthroughs, but one of them's a speed playthrough, and I think you also have to get 100% on the speed playthrough. So I think they're a little bit skill based. I don't think they're the easiest games in the world by any stretch.
Yeah, I own all of them and I've not played them.
Yeah. Okay. I know they're all. I have one on PlayStation, but I've put no time into it either. I noticed this one, listeners, has 15 missable achievements, so you'd want to check the guide if that does interest you on your completion there. Then, Joe, this is a nice one, Coffee Talk. So we've had this on the PlayStation as well. Have you played this yet? I'm not sure if you've got to this one.
I have not, just because it's a little out of my price range for Xbox One games. Yeah, I've just been kind of buying like the $5-6 games lately, and then like the big like AAA games that I want to play, or like the bigger releases, like Maneater,
Mm, mm.
which is coming today.
No, of course. It is. It is. So, well, this Coffee Talk is available free from the 16th. So you should pick it up, Joe. It's around 3 to 4 hours, 24 achievements, 1,000 gamers score. It's sort of one full playthrough and sort of a half a playthrough. My understanding is I've been told it's actually quite enjoyable to read, although I think you can skip as well and then just focus on the coffee orders and coffee art. So, and also it does have a platinum, although not free on PlayStation. So maybe that's the place to play it this month on the X. And then I don't know this one. Is it Sina Mora? Is that how you say it? Or
I believe it's Cine Mora. This one I bought the day it came out. I played it at PAX East when I went one year in Boston before it had come out. I believe it was a Summer of Arcade game, if I'm not mistaken. I could be very wrong in that, but I played it for like a little bit. I honestly couldn't even tell you what genre it was though. I just remember like sitting at the booth and like I was excited to play it, and then it's just like so much stuff has come out since then that I just don't remember.
mm, mm. Well, the numbers behind this one, it's available from the 16th, 25 to 50 hours. Apparently, there's a lot of RNG in this game for the achievements. There are 12 achievements. It's only worth 200 gamer score there, Joe. It takes 9 playthroughs as a minimum, but I think it depends on the RNG again. It can take a lot more. Although I did find there was a really well-written full walkthrough on true achievements there, Joe, which sort of, step by steps you through it as much as it can, I think. So, if that does interest you, that's a slog for 200 gamer score, Joe. And by all means. So, what do you think, Joe? It's basically the battle of the Triple A's versus the Indies this month here between PlayStation and Xbox. What takes your fancy? Who are you going to side with this month?
I think PlayStation has the better games, but I think Xbox has the better achievements from like Coffee Talk and Shantae.
Yes. Yeah, that's perfectly straddled the fence there. Well done, sir. So,
Yes.
yeah, I think for me, I think I'm probably going to go with PlayStation this month, with the exception of the Coffee Talk. The others don't really interest me on the Xbox. But having said that, I'm definitely not going to be platting Battlefront 2 or World War 2. But I would like to try those ones again. So I think I will. But now, look, Joe, those games are, as we said, they're too long by and large for raising your level. So why don't we go to games that we can do that with? And what
Oh,
would you like to? Oh, yes.
hold on one second. No, sorry. Also, this week I believe the season pass for World War II is on sale for $20
Oh,
as
on
well.
the PlayStation. Excellent.
Yes.
Yes, because there's a ton of DLC trophies for that as well. So that could be something to look into, I suppose, there, listeners. So what shall we throw out here first, Joe, to raise these levels? What have you got?
Okay, so the first one is a PS4 and Xbox One game, and it's Professional Farmer 17. I believe on the PS4 it has some glitch trophies, if I'm not mistaken. Is that correct?
I didn't have any problems with it, but I have heard that. Yes.
I'm thinking of a different farm game then. Maybe I'm thinking of like Real Farm. One of them is glitched. So on the Xbox One, if you have a disc-based copy of this, like I do, because they have since patched it, you can install it without the latest update, and you can actually give yourself infinite money and buy basically everything you need to unlock the achievements. The completion takes just
Oh.
under 2 hours. I don't believe you could do it on PlayStation 4, but it's not something I would spend a ton of money in because it is only a 100% game on the PS4 because I believe it only has 10
Yeah,
trophies.
it's one of these ones. Okay, yeah, I see. Okay, that's a sneaky little trick. I like that. Yeah, thank you for sharing. Look, I'll throw out a very short and brief description of a very short and brief game here. The Many Faces, the East Asia soft release from last week. So basically, Joe, this is I called this in our Patreon a Patreon episode last night here, where we just do a wrap up, listeners, of all the games for May. And I called this one basically a skin ripoff of their other games that they've stopped making new games. And in effect, this is sort of like that. It's a twin stick shooter, Joe. It's very easy completion. You can do it in 20 minutes or something, but it plays like a lot like the Task Force Campos one, in that you have your 4 levels and then a boss fight. You have to kill 3 different bosses, but you can just keep killing the first boss if you want. The bosses are random. Some of them are super difficult, some are super easy. So you just play through. Probably if you're going for a speed run, it might almost be better to die after the first boss and just keep playing those first 4 levels and taking your risk with the first boss, because the harder bosses seem to come in the ninth and then the 13th levels or whatever after every 4. The only miscellaneous is a hats trophy. You have to pick up these hats, Joe, that most of them are useless. I got one that shot bubbles that didn't do any damage, just shot bubbles around the screen. But I did get one that doubled the damage. That was quite good. So if you do find a good hat, you want to keep on it. Although you do need to pick up 10 throughout the playthroughs. But yeah, look, it's fine or whatever else. There's not much gameplay there, but what little there is enjoyable. What do you have for us next, Joe?
The next one is one that I actually bought because it was on sale, but I couldn't find it in the two sales or whatever. Like when I was like scrolling through it, but or maybe it was on sale last week. Planet of the Eyes.
Yes. This is a nice little game.
Yeah, it's a little puzzle platformer. It's not challenging at all. Maka has a really great guide for it, and his video is about in the 50-minute range. I have completed it on Xbox One. Maybe I'll do it tomorrow on the PS4, just because I don't work, so I have all the time in the world to play whatever I want.
Just for tomorrow.
Yeah, just for tomorrow. So that might be one that I play. I remember enjoying it. My completion time for it says an hour and 47 minutes. I also procrastinate a lot and walk away and decide I'm gonna make a coffee or something like that. So or browse my phone. So you could factor that into the hour and 47 minutes as well. So
It's a good pick up and play game though. Like as you say, it's not difficult to just stop and start like that. Yeah, that's good. The next one, look, I'm just going to throw out some love for some arcade archive games on the PlayStation again here. These are the two latest offerings, the Redial and the Plus Alpha. So these games have been getting progressively harder. Occasionally they slip in an easy one, which is what they've done here. I'll start with the Alpha one. This one took me about 40 minutes. Again, obviously using the save interrupt. Now both these games are only 100%, and I know potentially a little pricey. So maybe add to the wish list for when they inevitably do go on sale at some point. The Alpha one maybe is the slightly more skillful of each one. So it plays as a shooter, arcade shooter or whatever, but they do have bosses. The third boss is a dragon that shoots fire randomly across the screen. It's very random. You can just get stuck in the wrong place. So I did a lot of save manipulate there. It's a bit frustrating, but once you get past that, and you will need to get past to get the high scores, it's very easy from there in. The Redial I did in 13 minutes, but you can easily do it in 10 minutes. It's another shooter as well, but it's a lot easier, this one, and very minimal requirements of the save interrupt. There is, I'm going to say from memory, it's either the L2 or the R2 button. It sort of rolls your ship forward. It never explains this. Well, maybe it does in the instructions, I don't know, but it doesn't seem to explain it. You need to roll through the debris or the barriers, and you don't really figure it out because you can get a fair way in the game before they appear, but you can't get far enough to get the high score. But once you realize that, it means you can roll through anything basically. So it becomes very easy, and a bit of a joke there, Joe. And do you have one more for us?
I do, and this is actually a game that is, I believe, not that good, but I had a lot of fun with it. And it's Shaq Fu: A Legend Reborn.
Yeah,
Have you played this?
I have. I thought it was great. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, a lot of people don't like it, but I had a really good time with it. I thought it was fun. I was gonna pick it for a milestone plat until because I saw that it had 34 trophies,
Hmm.
and I went to go play it, and I booted up the trophy list, and I'm like, wait, where is the platinum?
They forgot to put it in.
Correct. So two stacks on the PS4, digital and physical instead of different regions. I've been trying to hunt down a physical copy of it here with everything going on. Is a little difficult, and I am also cheap. There's a free DLC where Barack Obama is a playable character, and they call it Barack Fu. The DLC has 13 bronze trophies on PS4. They did not add the achievements on Xbox One.
That's interesting. I didn't know that because you can't, as you say, you can't get the DLC digitally. You have to have got it, or at least on the PlayStation, through the store, through a physical copy, I should say. So that's interesting. Maybe I should go onto the Xbox and give that another look. Good,
Oh,
very
is that how that works?
Yes, well, I don't know how it works on the Xbox. That is how it works on the PlayStation. Unless you have the physical copy, you can't get the DLC. Yeah, it's not a download.
Oh, okay. So that means I have to buy it new then. So I can't buy it pre-owned because it came with a code.
Yeah, well, unless you get lucky.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, yeah. Unless you, yeah, that is the. It's really annoying because that game's been out now for some time. So obviously they're not going to put the DLC digitally, at any point now, which is a shame.
When I was looking, I checked PlayStation trophies, and I saw it just said free, so I just assumed that it was available for free.
Yes, no, unfortunately not. And then, look, the only one I'm going to add here, listeners, and I'm not going to go into detail because I think we'll talk about it on the next main show, is Those Who Remain. It's an indie thriller horror suspense game, if you like, by Camel 101. It came out last week, comes in around 20 US, I believe. Look, yeah, it is a little rough around the edges or so, but if you liked Resident Evil, if you like that ever conscious presence sort of following you and chasing you through scenes, it has that. If you like some very simplistic puzzle elements, it has a great atmosphere. As I said, some of the animation is a little hit and miss or so. It's about an 8 to 10 hour completion. It does require 3 playthroughs. I don't want to really get into it because it could spoil it. I mean, if you use the videos in this game, I think you could do it in 3 to 4 hours comfortably. There is also a place before you make the first key decision where you can reload your save, and play the other 2 playthroughs from there. Once you know how to do the game, most of the levels can be done in about 6 minutes or so, but can be very confusing to know what to do with the exploration. So you could be looking at 20 to 30 minutes plus if you play unassisted. But I definitely recommend that, and I'm almost finished it, so we'll hold off on that one and talk about it more in depth at a later stage. Joe, let's go across to the Ratter Platter of the Week. It's been a good one this week for us, I think. The Castle Powers by developer Brad Urikilla. Urikilla. I should have looked at that before I tried to pronounce it. What did you think, Joe?
I didn't think it was that bad. I had a lot of fun with it when I played it. Towards the end, it was a little bit more challenging.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you only have to you don't have to finish the game though, so it's not too bad.
Yeah.
I think from memory here we do the whole of the first world, 12 levels, and then only half to level 6 of the second world. 2 missables, a red gem and a blue gem. Believe the red gem is in the second world, the blue in the first, but both easy to find. You don't really even need a guide for this game. You just play it through. It is a platformer, 2 character platformer. You alternate levels with each character. One is a sort of a double jumping character, the other is a flying sort of character, flying hat, if you like. So it's quite enjoyable. Couple of switches, puzzle switches, but nothing crazy. There. Anything else you want to add on that one, Joe? Other than it's a quick plat.
No, it took me a little bit longer because I was kind of doing two things at once on my PC and playing like the later levels of the game, which
Mm.
probably wasn't a good idea. But
Yeah, it's the sort of game that you can't AFK. You do need to be there. Just looking through, there
yeah,
are four gold. You have to gold 4 levels. Most of the time limits for the gold are 1 minute, but a lot of the levels can be done in 20 seconds. Only thing to watch out for is if you die within the level, there are checkpoints you can keep going if you've hit one, but it resets the clock to 0, and therefore you can't get a time on that level. But only needing 4 gold is you'll probably get it on the first 4. It's very, very easy. So just before we get to the what we're throwing our money at this week, Joe, just a little promo for the trophy of the month. If you're a listener and you want to get involved, we have a little giveaway going on where you just post your favorite trophy for the month in the Discord in the giveaways thread. It's up until I believe the 24th of June for this month, and we have a couple of PSN cards to give away. So jump in the Discord if you so wish and post it there. But Joe, what are you going to waste your money on this week? You've already alluded to Maneater, I believe.
yeah. So that actually got delivered, and it's actually outside my house now. So when we're done recording this, I'm gonna go run and get it and install it. Um,
Oh, excellent.
So this week, I'm looking at the releases, and it doesn't look like there's all that much. So probably just strawberry vinegar on Xbox and the other platforms that we don't have it for.
Yeah. Are you going to play this Maneater, or are you just going to install it?
I'm probably gonna play it. I bought it for Xbox One, and then I ordered a copy for PS4 from Amazon, but it's severely on back order, unfortunately. So I don't know. It looks stupid, but like stupid fun at the same time. Like one of those like bad games that like you could just have fun with and laugh at. So I figured I would buy it twice, and if I like it enough, I will get the 1,000 gamer score and get the platinum.
for me, listeners, I picked up a couple the other day. This Little Misfortune. It's a 100% game. It sells itself as an interactive story, although with a dark edge, so perhaps more for adults than children. I think it's also a light puzzler, so I'm looking forward to trying that. We've got Minecraft Dungeons, Joe. Maybe we can organize something. We might even play a little bit together. We'll see. We'll see what happens there. And then, as I said, I'll finish off Those Who Remains, I think. And I'm tossing up here, Joe, whether I want to dive in. Have you ever played one of these Otawara Rumuno games before?
No.
Look, I don't blame you. They're not probably your sort of thing. They're half VN, half turn-based strategy game, if you like. So the VN parts are really beautiful. The stories are always good. The strategy parts can be a little bit frustrating. I think the plats are a bit frustrating as well. The good thing about this series is that it comes on the Vita as well. So it's usually not a cross-buy, but a same list. So they actually work beautifully on the Vita. And my understanding is the new one, Prelude to the Fallen, works very nicely. Sorry, in the context, has a really good story, perhaps the strongest story of all. And then, Joe, just because there's just not enough games here, which is unlike you, it's a tragedy, isn't it? We must have more for some reason. I decided it was time to invest in this Disco Elysium, which unfortunately is not on console. It's not on the Xbox yet, but on PC. So I don't know if you know about this game, Joe, if you've come across it.
I've heard of it, and I saw it like when the video game awards were on and stuff like that, but I don't really know that much about it.
No, I started playing it, and someone warned me that it's not a game, probably not a game for me. But I've quite enjoyed it. It's very text heavy or whatever else, and it's a little bit absurd. But I'm only in a couple of hours, so we'll talk about that more in the future. But there's a ton of stuff there in what looks otherwise like maybe a slower week there, Joe. But I'm sure we'll keep busy. So look, why don't we wrap up here? I know we're closely approaching the wrestling here, Joe, which is it's important we don't carry over into that and free you of this for tonight. So with that in mind, is there anything else, or shall we part ways for the week?
No, we can take off.
No? Okay, good. You sound
Yes.
almost questioning there. I like it. Yes, we can. So have a wonderful week, listeners. May you continue to smash your own cap, raise your own level. By all means, reach out. Let us know how you're going. Join the Discord. Post in the PSN community if you so wish. Or say hi on Twitter. They're all valid options. So until next week, thank you again, Joe, and have a wonderful week.
You as well.
Push2 A Plat podcasts are conceived, written, and edited by Cj Anderson in Adobe Audition. YouTube upload handled by repurpose.io. Push2 A Plat would like to thank our Patreon producers Zador VP, Redbeard Rick, T-Bird, and Olcero. Without your support, this show would cease to exist. If you'd like to say hi, jump into the Discord in the show notes or on Twitter at Push2 Plat. If you're interested in supporting the show, then jump on Patreon, the Push2 Plat Patreon, where you can find more information on how to support us and allow us to continue bringing wonderful guests and topics from around the world.